Look at the massive fire ahead. That might actually... Yep. That's an amazing sight. I very rarely see that. Hello, and welcome everyone to a return to Napoleon Total War. We are, of course, playing with the Darth mod, and we are playing Napoleon because of the results of a recent poll I put out on YouTube asking if people would like to see a return to the game, and of course, there was quite a good majority asking for a good return to Napoleon. We are, of course, playing as the British today. And we're going to be starting a campaign as them going forwards and of course looking to wipe out Napoleon himself. Let's just look over our true victory conditions, shall we? So we have to control a total of 20 regions. That shouldn't particularly be difficult there because we also have to take the Balearic Isles, England of course, Hanover, Provence, Spain, and we also have to take Denmark, and we have to take Brittany as well. It's a rather interesting collection of regions there, especially Denmark. So that's going to be rather out the way. But the strategy going forward is to actually go straight for Spain. Why are we going straight for Spain? Well, it's quite a good economy actually to take Spain as quickly as possible as the British, I find. There's some good money-making buildings in Pamplona and Barcelona, and having Madrid is very, very useful indeed. However, not only is there the land from taking Spain, but Spain itself does have a very respectable navy, and that will destroying Spain will of course remove that navy. And having said that, and having done that, we will be able to control all of the trade nodes. Spain does start with a fairly sizable fleet sat on top of this particular trade node over here, but it also means that we can leave these ships over here and reinforce them later on without being attacked by Spain themselves. However, should be fairly straightforward. It's never really been a problem playing as Britain. It's probably the go-to starter faction if you ask me. However, I will preface this by saying it's never a guarantee that we are actually going to win a campaign. You never know what exactly is going to pop up. So what are we doing for our opening moves? Well, we have Horatio Nelson with a very small but very strong navy out first, which is excellent. As Britain, of course, we do have the strongest out of the gate navy, but we're willing to keep on top of that and strengthen it throughout the game. We're going to be raiding this major trade route down here to begin with. That's going to give us nearly 1,000 income just from that. We're going to get a market up over here in Cork in Ireland. We're going to upgrade as many farms as possible, which we can spot. It's just these two to begin with. And we're going to upgrade the market in York as well, so it gets a good foundation of a economy going there. We're going to get our mine up in Scotland over here in the Dumfries. We have made sure, as always, to get as many roads going as possible. Roads are excellent for not only movement speed, but also a very good basic income every turn. And that's the same with farms as well. Some very good basic income to get you a good foundation for your economy. We do also have a fairly decent standing army to begin with. However, what we're going to do is actually disband these 6-pounders over here because we don't necessarily need them. I don't like to go particularly too cannon heavy. We're going to bring these units straight in so we don't have to recruit quite so many troops to start with. And what we're going to do is we'll take the militia from Dublin and we're going to put them, I think, into one of the trade nodes over here, into one of our ports. That'll take a few turns to get over. Not in any particular rush at the moment, that's absolutely fine. The reason for that is we are going to be beating back multiple waves of French raiding fleets, and they're going to be going directly for our trade ports in Chatham, in Bristol and in Liverpool very, very early on, and that is going to be rather tough to beat back, unfortunately, and that is going to be targeting our economy. Currently, we're sat on 4.7 thousand income, but that's going to be boosted immediately by getting as many trade agreements as possible. And that should be fairly easy. We're going to go for Prussia and Russia. We are actually allied with Russia itself, and we'll probably look for an alliance with Prussia later on. Going to get a trade agreement with Portugal. I'm going to go for one with Mecklenburg. And that is excellent. So that's boosted us up to 7.1 thousand income, and that is absolutely amazing out of the gate income right there. That's probably one of the strongest you'll get as any faction very, very early on, which is excellent. We're going to go for public schooling to begin with as well for the extra technological research rate there, and it's quite a straightforward technology there, just so that we can boost ourselves in the long run. I think that's pretty much it to start with though. However, we're going to take this minor fleet here and we're going to raid Antwerp over here, and we're going to raid Le Havre over here, and then we're going to raid this particular trade route there. The reason for popping in there is just so that they can't build any particular navies straight out of the gates from these two ports. We might want to do that pretty much every turn going forwards, if we do of course remember to do so. Going to, I think, chuck this particular navy in this port so that we can take the spy over to France and spy on there. However, I don't think there's anything really to do for the rest of the turn, so let's go straight over to turn 2. Okay, so we get the standard messages, Confederation of the Rhine, and I'm sure Austria and Ottoman Empire at war, they certainly are. Always happens on your first turn. What we're going to do now is just make some decent semblance of a standing army. We do have Michael Stoll and Arthur Wellesley. We also have John Moore over here. Going to get rid of this 6-pounder just to free up some income. We're going to leave John Moore over here for now. Actually, what we're going to do is put him into Liverpool. We're going to put the Highlanders, I think, we're going to bring them down to Chatham, I think. Just to make sure the enemy can't raid our ports too directly. They will be able to blockade our ports, but they won't be able to harm them the same way we've done to Le Havre and what was it, Antwerp over here. Just means that we don't have to repair these ports when the enemy does raid them. It saves us a tiny bit of money every turn there. We can see Villeneuve's fleet actually coming out fairly early on. That's not great because that's quite a strong standing navy to begin with. We can see some semblance of a Batavian Republic navy there. What we're going to do is we're going to hide in Chatham here because I don't think we could stand up to that with either of those two fleets. We might be able to take it on just about with Nelson, but I don't particularly believe my own naval skills at the moment to take on at least Villeneuve's fleet. We'll see about the Batavian Republics, but they will, I think, get reinforced by Villeneuve over here. That is a fairly strong out the gate fleet there with its composition. So we're going to hide in our ports for this one turn at least, and what we're going to do is just get our basic buildings up once again. We're going to get this iron mine up in Carnarvon over here. And I think we're going to start making more units. We have how many slots available? We should have 6 slots available. 1 more unit of cavalry for me, please. And just fill the rest out with some infantry there. We'll get that out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's get that off. Excellent stuff. And that'll be a full army there, which will go straight down to Spain when the channel is clear, I think. We'll get Nelson's fleets to drop us off there. That'll be very nice indeed. What else can we spend our money on? I think we want to go for a theatre to begin with, which will increase our happiness and income over time, allowing us to go for a college and upgrade the university over here, so we get better technological research there. Let's go to the next turn. Yeah, and as we were saying, Bristol has already been raided, and this by Villeneuve's fleet, which was sat in the channel. So not to worry there, that is going to be a hit to our economy. That's going to bring us down quite a bit, actually, to 3,500 income. And that just shows you exactly how important these trade routes are for us early on. But that does give us a good reason to go and destroy Villeneuve's fleet. So what we're going to do is take Nelson over here. And we're going to form up with this particular fleet just for a couple extra ships. I don't think we'll bother with Elphinstone's fleece over here. And we will take, I think Wellesley over here has the, yeah, he certainly has the range to go over. But we're going to blockade first so the enemy doesn't have anywhere to go. Well, this is going to be a tough battle. The enemy does have some very good ships of the line. It has 2 74 gunners and Villeneuve's capital is a 122 gunner, matching Nelson's there. We're going to try, I think, unfortunately, to keep Nelson at range, but just in case he does, historically, of course, take an unlucky shots and die. So we don't want to lose him, do we, this early on. We are going to lose a couple ships here, I do think. My naval skills are not amazing, but let's go straight in and wish us luck. Okay, so the wind is not in our favour. It's going south to north for us, and we're quite neutral on that. I think the plan here is to try and get a fair amount of our ships onto this particular flank over here, come out at range. It looks like the enemy is going to charge forwards into us here, so really I think we can play somewhat defensively and turn our ships out. This particular ship is going to rush in and try and get some sail damage, I think, and trying to take the enemy's fire away from our main ships. We're going to come in a little closer over here and get a good broadside going where possible. The idea is to eventually have the wind in our favour over here with this flank, so we can turn in through this particular port side of the enemy over here and sweep in, get on their flank where possible and cross their T at the rear. So let's zoom ahead to when we're in range. And that time is pretty much now with our bow cannons firing out. We have turned out with this particular ship to get some good broadsides into the enemy as quickly as possible. We're going to try and do the same here, and if we turn out, get some starting shots into the enemy's leading frigates here. We'll do that over here where possible. No need to rush into the enemy's massive broadsides ourselves. We're actually going to drop anchor here and here. Are we in range to hit anyone's sails here? Probably not quite. We'll see when we start firing out once again. Turn around here as well. Look at the massive volleys coming out. So at range, we're getting some pretty decent hits in already, and that's excellent. Just shaking the masts over here. We won't get any direct hits unless we do fire out chain shots, unfortunately. I think actually we're already going to turn around over here away from these massive broadsides there. I don't want to take as many shots as possible too early on from the larger ships here. And that will go into the enemy's bow, clipping their sails, their leading sails. These ships will be able to run rings around us later on, unfortunately. Let's drop anchor here. No need to just rush in here, I don't think. I think with Nelson, we're actually going to turn with the wind across the T here. I think we might want to drop anchor here as well, actually. It's not looking too bad. We can get some decent hits out onto the frigates here. We have actually destroyed the leading mast here. That is excellent. And the stern one. Look at that going down. Absolutely brilliant. Love to see that happen. So we don't actually need chain shot there, interestingly enough, because of the range. We've dropped the leading mast on this frigate as well, and that's taken their main strength away with the frigates, is of course their manoeuvrability. Oh, look at that. You love to see it. You love to see it. But now Villeneuve himself is getting into range, and we are, because of the range, getting some hits into his sails. If we can make him a sitting duck, that would be excellent. Let's get some direct fire orders onto him, shall we? He should take some glancing shots through here, but I think we're going to make sure we do focus on him for the minute, because he is absolutely going to pound us when he gets into range. Let's turn out over here, because I don't want to get any friendly fire, unfortunately, of course. And turn harder over here with Nelson to get our massive broadside going onto these frigates, I think, when they come in range. Actually, let's hold fire so we do get a full broadside out manually there. You can see, even with the wind in our favour there, just not getting the turn that we need, unfortunately. This massive volley is going to come crashing down, but not too successfully because of the range. And I think we're waiting to hit this ship over here, and we should be about ready for that. That is going to clip through the formation there, which is excellent. And now we're going to drop anchor here, I think. And with this ship, I think we're going to try and turn around like so. Massive starboard side turn there. Batter the port side there. You can see from the elements over here that they have taken a lot of port side damage. And so they bloody should. Don't necessarily want to get right into the range of all of these guns. Might want to turn out a tad there. Try and fire it through here. Yeah, and that is going to clip through to Villeneuve himself. Need to come back in with this ship and get our own ships in here. Let's try and get into the enemy's flank, shall we? And we want to concentrate Villeneuve where possible now. Might be an idea. This is Nelson's ship to actually get some distance. Perhaps. Well, it's actually not too bad at the moment. We're going to just drop anchor again and stay on this position, I think. Get some chain shots out where possible while the enemy's sails are down. And we get the most efficient shots out there. Keep moving here. Wants to really turn up over here and get out so they're not in the close range there. Do we have any idle ships? No, we don't necessarily. It's just these coming out of range here. I think actually while we've got the opportunity, we'll turn out here and try and just envelop this particular ship is going right in between our two broadsides. That is going to be beautiful if we get that off properly. I don't think we're going to change the chain shot here. We're staying with round and just obliterate this ship because it is wavering. Some quick shock damage here will do the trick, you'd have thought. Look at that. Look at that, and yet that is absolutely surrendering. You saw the whole damage just increase dramatically there. And we are going to carry on to the enemy's flank. We're going to turn out with Nelson here, I think, finally. Chain shot not being quite so effective because the sails are not down, unfortunately. So we're going to go back to round. And we're going to move out here, try and focus this ship over here with our two here. Try and get the numbers advantage there. Looks like the frigates are... This one was looking at surrendering. Not quite though now, unfortunately. Let's turn around behind Villeneuve's flagship. I'll do the same with Nelson here, I think. So this ship is currently in a bit of a situation where it will take a massive broadside from Villeneuve, but I think it can pretty much take it and dish it back. We'll try and turn around with this ship, as we said. Got to get round here and just, I think, focus like so. We are against the wind with our frigate here, but that's not going to be a massive game changer at the moment. Look at that. Oh, that is beautiful on this 74 gunner. We've stripped a few guns down, but not quite how I want to. Not quite enough. It's never enough. Just turn over here. Where's Nelson gone to? It's just here. Again, it will only take one stray lucky shot to down the Admiral himself. I think we want to do a tight turn where possible. As tight a turn as a massive sail ship can do. This is just Villeneuve really being a problem here. Our morale is going to waver as long as he's firing at us. Want to move with the wind around here to escape that though. And this ship is taking a fair bit of damage. Fair bit of damage. Let's try and move out here, get a good broadside going here, and do the same like this. Well, it's looking like now we have encircled Villeneuve as much as we can, and it is, I think, pretty much only him remaining correctly in the fight. Now, we do have this ship over here, the 74 gunner. We've removed the stern mast, which is excellent. That will completely reduce its mobility. a fair amount. So let's turn around, try and get a double broadside going on here. Try and get our port side around here. As you can see, the starboard is the weaker of the two sides there. And try and get as many ships onto Villeneuve as possible, I think. How do we do against this ship? We must have got a decent broadside out there. We're going to have to turn around with the wind though, unfortunately. Massive broadside coming out here. Wouldn't mind some shots into the mast and the sails there actually to get him stopping completely. Massive fire out on this French ship. You'd hope that would explode really at the moment and spread to Villeneuve. Guessing a broadside is moving here and another coming from our rear ship. Excellent stuff. Looks like his port side is rather battered and his starboard's taking some good damage as well there. You know what, I might actually turn this ship around and get some chain shots out here while some major sails are down and flowing, which is excellent. Look at the massive fire here. That might actually... Yep! That's an amazing sight. I very rarely see that. That was absolutely beautiful. Crack the ship in half. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Don't tell me you don't. Do still have this ship to worry about though. His guns are still active. So we're going to carry on turning for that side, I think. Let's come up through here. And it looks like Villeneuve is thinking about surrendering, which is excellent. We need to get moving though, because we don't have these ships actively firing, unfortunately. This ship is very much out of position. And so is this one, but you know what, I think we're going to get that repairing. He's thinking about surrendering there, thinking about it. Loss of good visible damage there. I think this ship actually just needs to get some chain shots out here, because its broadside's not going to do too much against the hull, I don't think. We are most certainly against the wind, unfortunately. Let's turn around over here. There is Nelson's ship there. This is going to be interesting with that possibly friendly fire there. Increase sails where possible. This ship not wavering just yet, but if we get Villeneuve down, I'm sure the other enemy ship will decide to retreat. It's a very interesting shaped ship now with the damage we've done here, and that is going to take a massive battering there. That is excellent to see. Are we ready to fire? Not quite, we are still reloading here. Try and get on its flank there with our superior speed, even if we are against the wind. We'll try and get a large concentrated volley off here. This ship done very well. It has of course been absent from the battle quite a while. There we go, some more damage coming in there. We need to turn around for this shot to come out properly. This ship looks like it is just going to stay out of the fight, which is excellent for us. Let's turn around here, get our strongest side going. I think we just need to turn in a tad. That will pretty much do. Did get into the sails a tad there. Might just stick to round shot, you know. Yeah, dismasted, excellent stuff. Look at that. And we're going to come up for a massive broadside here, surely. We're going to concentrate that to get all of our guns hold fire. Turn around. Good close broadside volley going off here, I think. Get that roughly about here-ish I want to aim for. Need to turn around a tad more, just clipping I think with this ship. And fire. Yeah, very, very nice. It's on fire now. Excellent stuff with that volley. Hopefully that gets out of control. He is thinking about surrendering. He's wavering quite a bit there. You know, I think we're just going to have to drop anchor here. And turn up over here with Nelson. And hopefully with Villeneuve down, this particular last ship will want to surrender. Yeah, that fire's getting out of control and he will be surrendering there. And we have actually killed Villeneuve himself. Excellent catch there. Excellent catch. So this is the major French starting fleets out of the way immediately. And we actually haven't taken any losses so far ourselves. And that should remain the case. So we just need to get rid of this final ship now. And with that, we were given a heroic victory, and I would say so myself. We lost 0 ships and sunk all of the enemy. We did actually manage to capture some frigates there. I'm not going to capture them, unfortunately. We do get some decent prize money, actually, of 1,099. Excellent stuff. But I don't want to keep... Actually, I think we do want to keep these. We want to keep them in our fleets and bolster our more minor fleets there. We'll absolutely take that and repair the port there. Come back over here and repair up, which is an excellent start to our campaign there. A very major enemy fleet out of the way immediately there. Very, very happy indeed with that. So what are we doing with our army? We need 1 more unit, which will come over the next turn. We're going to plonk this particular unit over here, weren't we? Excellent. Is there anything else we can do then? I think we get this particular trade port going. We've got enough trade ports going, I think, actually. So we're going to turn this into a military dockyard. Or a naval dockyard. And up here, we're going to start with a theatre for that bonus income for now. We do have an empty port slot over here we can use in the future as well. So I think that is going to be it for this turn. And on the end of the next turn, we do have Jeremy Bentham out as a gentleman. Excellent stuff. We have a blockaded port over here in Liverpool. What exactly is that? That's not Victor Giron's fleet as I thought it might have been. We do have our Marcus House in Ireland, our mines in Scotland. Excellent stuff. We're going to see what Bentham does exactly. Civil. And 2 more civil. Excellent stuff. That's really, really good. That's really going to boost our technology towards public schooling. Excellent stuff. Which is a great boost. So, what are we going to do with this? I think what we're going to do is actually, what's our income looking like? It is rather low because of that blockade. Is only 3 ships there. We can certainly deal with that. Let's take out Cornwallis over here. And we're going to move over. We might just be able to also through this because I do want to land on Spain today now that we do have our army up. Yeah, we can certainly also through this. It's only a few corvettes and frigates there. Did unfortunately lose a couple ships, but not to worry. We will take that 32 gunner. And that's absolutely fine. So that's what we're talking about. If we do have a land unit inside a port, the enemy can only blockade it, so we don't actually have to repair that anymore, and that has freed up our economy once again just through doing that. Excellent stuff. We don't actually need to we don't actually have the money to to upgrade and repair there. Not to worry at all. What we're going to do then is get our army going down to Spain. And we're using Michael Stahl over here because he's rather lacking in traits. Only +1 to morale and command there. Getting him some experience in Spain will help him out there quite handily. So that we do only have strong generals. We're going to reinforce ourselves over here. It is very, very light fleets there. And we're going to do the gauntlets down to Spain. Jump onto Navarra. Nothing in our way because we destroyed the French fleet previously, and we'll be taking Navarra over the next turn. Excellent stuff. Once again, this is what I mean, we're constantly beating back just minor French fleets on our ports here. That is blockading Bristol, just 1 ship as well, but unfortunately it is enough to bring down our economy. We are not going to deal with that with Nelson. We're going to repair over here. That's a lot of money to repair our ships. We're going to bring up these 3 ships over here, I think, to deal with that. What's our construction looking like? A lot of roads and farms. Oh, excellent stuff. And that is just a minor admiral. Okay, I think we can also through that. Yeah, didn't lose anything. All good there. Lovely stuff. Didn't destroy the ship, but not to worry. I'm quite happy with just freeing up our port. And that's going to go to what looks like Antwerp over there. Excellent stuff. Why do we have a red marker there? It's rather interesting. But we're just going to stop ourselves over in Portsmouth there and ready to get our spy over to France, I think. But let's go to the major issue and actually take Navarra, shall we? No one's there. Demand surrender. Thank you very much. and it's as easy as that. We will repair and upgrade the roads. We want to repair that to get some militia going to police that, which means we can, you know, garrison while moving our main army over to Barcelona as quickly as possible. But I'm afraid that is unfortunately all we have time for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much to those of you who have been watching. We are going to be hopefully putting this one through to completion because it's quite a fun campaign. I do like playing Napoleon Total War for you. Unfortunately didn't have quite the luck with our Prussian and Austrian campaigns previously, did we? But as Britain, I'm sure we can absolutely get there. So, thank you very much for watching. Please do like if you drop a like if you do, in fact, like the video, and please do leave some feedback in the comments section below. Always very much appreciated. But I shall see you in the future. May all of your nights and days be auspicious. Goodbye.